Concerns continue to grow tonight over the mental health of Senator Dianne Feinstein. Last night, we told you about a conversation she had with reporters after a Senate vote. Tonight, we have audio provided by LA Times reporter Ben Oreskes. Take a listen.
What has the response from your colleagues been like? What have the well wishes? What have you heard?
What have I heard about what?
About your return. How have they felt about your return?
No, I haven't been gone.
Okay.
You should follow me. I haven't been gone. I've been working.
You've been working from home, is what you're saying?
No, I've been here. I've been voting. Please, either know or don't know.
What do you say to Californians like Rocano who say you should resign?
Of course, she hasn't been there. She's been gone for several months. Joining us now is LA Times reporter Ben Oreskes. You were the one who was in there having that exchange with her. Ben, I'm curious, just on a human level, what was that experience like for you, for the other reporters there when she said that? What happened after she left? Did everybody sort of look around at each other? Describe what that was like for you.
It was me and another reporter from Slate. We both had been sort of staking out, looking for where she would kind of enter and exit the floor to vote. And after it happened, it didn't take more than a minute. You know, we weren't with her very long, but we very much quickly realized, like, what did we just listen to? And obviously it should go without, we should point out there's there's an interpretation of this where she's confused that I'm thinking I'm talking. She's been back for a week. She's thinking I'm talking about her being back for the last week. But, given the ample amount of reporting in outlets like the San Francisco Chronicle, the New Yorker, my outlet, the LA Times, about her memory loss, about her physical frailty and her inability to keep the, strenuous schedule that a senator does keep, it sort of seemed reasonable to kind of report on this and take stock of, what we heard from California's senior senator.
Now, Ben, you spoke to many of her colleagues to get their reaction. What'd they say?
Yeah, I would point out that a lot of the people we spoke to, we talked to them before this had happened, talking about the situation that they're in, where Dianne Feinstein has been absent, making it much more difficult for the work of the Senate to occur, particularly when John Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania, was gone. This work kind of grinded to a halt. He returned and votes continued. But her return was something that her colleagues were extremely happy about, mostly because they really like her and care about her. But also it means they can continue to press forward with a key point in President Joe Biden's agenda, which is confirming more, liberal and progressive judges to the federal bench. This is a key part of what he's been about, particularly in a moment where you have a divided Congress and there's not a lot of legislating going on right now. So her return is a victory for them in many ways.
If you can, let's explain how this Judiciary Committee works, because she's been on the Judiciary Committee for a long time. She was off of it. She asked for Republicans to put a temporary replacement on there. They said no. And even if she were to resign, they wouldn't necessarily have to put a replacement on there, right? Can you explain a little more about that?
Sure. The Judiciary Committee is essentially where judges go to have their nominations heard. They have to be voted out of that and then voted on by the full Senate. There's a lot of gamesmanship that goes into that. The vote right now is 11-10 with her there. And there are plenty of judges that go through with bipartisan support, meaning they have Republicans and Democrats. But for the few but not insignificant number of judges who don't have that, her presence is essential. And if she's not there, they can't do what's called a cloture motion, which ends the debate about that judge. And they can't then vote on that judge. And we saw this today. There were 4 votes today in the Senate. One of them was about ending the debate for a judge. She was there for that vote. She was there for one other vote, but she wasn't there for the other 2. So even in her return, she has said she wouldn't keep a full schedule. She would do a lighter load, as she continues to recover from the shingles, which led her to be absent for several months. But we are seeing a person who is not at 89, operating at the same capacity as some of her younger colleagues. I hasten to say, I think the average age of a senator is about 65, so it's not a young group of people necessarily. But she is not doing the job like everyone else. She's also confined to a wheelchair in most cases and looks very frail.
Well, she has about a year and a half left in her final term there in Congress. Your latest article is about this very exchange between Senator Dianne Feinstein. You can read it for folks at home in the LA Times. He is Ben Oreskes. And Ben, we thank you for being with us tonight.
Thanks, guys.